Tariffs effectively are a tax on consumers. And that means you end up paying more at the car dealership at the checkout counter. So I want to go through a few things that if you're considering buying, you may want to buy sooner than later, or you may want to stock up on to the degree that you can. If you are looking to get an electric vehicle, if you're looking to go greener, the reality here is that number one, it is believed Donald Trump is going to get rid of the $7,500 federal tax credit on electric vehicles. And in addition to that, a lot of the parts are very much connected to a global supply chain. So electric vehicle technology may be the future, maybe it's interesting to you. You may want to move quickly before prices go way up. Now you may be saying, well, David, I don't want any of that sissy liberal stuff. I don't care that the electric vehicles are super fast. And if you've got a garage, you can heat or cool the vehicle in the garage without having to worry about carbon monoxide. I don't care that the charging is cheaper than the gasoline. I want an American gas-powered vehicle. Well, if you've got your heart set on a gas guzzler, you'll probably feel the pinch as well, because a lot of internal combustion engine vehicles are either assembled or have components assembled or have partial assembly done in Canada and Mexico. So any new car, really, it's not about gas versus electric. Vehicles are amalgamations of components from across the globe, including Canada, Mexico. You are going to start paying more. But there's more to that. If it is a gas-powered vehicle, the gasoline is likely going to start costing much more because, as we said earlier, Trump's tariffs, unless he's playing high-stakes chicken and he's going to bail out from it, a bunch of our oil that is refined into gasoline comes from Canada. So maybe you want to start stocking up on gasoline as well. We, of course, have eggs. Now, I know that it's kind of random, like, David, why are you talking about eggs? The price of eggs has become sort of emblematic of this trade war. And we are at a record high price right now. USDA says expect more high prices in 2025. Can you really stock up on eggs? You know, there's a limit, I guess, to it. I've never looked into freezing eggs. I'm not recommending anybody do it. But it does seem as though egg prices are going to go through the roof. What about something like avocados? You know, if avocados from Mexico, it is not just a millennial meme. If you are concerned about the price of avocados and prices continue to go up, you can apparently freeze avocados. I'm told it's better to have them and scoop out the two halves of the flesh intact, really seal it airtight, and then you can freeze it. It's crazy that I'm even talking about this. I did not think a week ago I would be talking to you about freezing avocados, but it's likely to become another price spike sort of index. And then maybe like more seriously, if you're looking at doing a home edition, lumber costs already have been up recently, partially because of the pandemic, but also because of tariffs on Canadian timber. If we see a ramp up in Canadian tariffs the way Trump is announcing, if you're thinking of building an addition or renovating, you probably want to secure those materials sooner rather than later. And then, I mean, listen, sugar, maple syrup, nuts, cooking oil, I'm sort of thinking of things that last a little while, that are less perishable. You may want to look at stocking up on these things sooner than later. Now, what's the problem with stocking up? This becomes its own self-fulfilling prophecy, because as we saw during the pandemic, when people expect a shortage, they go and they buy way more than they normally would. Similarly, when people expect a price increase, they go and they buy way more than they normally would, and it starts to create a supply chain issue, which will only make the trade and tariff situation even worse. So this is not necessarily advice. The solution can become its own problem, but what I am hearing from a lot of folks is that they aren't sure what to do, and you can see the market instability around this as well. So my question to you Are you planning to stock up on anything? Are you making any financial adjustments or moves based on what may be forthcoming? We will go through the replies and I'll highlight some of the things that folks are doing. So let's take a break. I am going to deal with the Greg Palast viral article about election fraud after this short break. Many of you have been emailing saying, David, everybody else has weighed in. What do you think about Greg Palast's alleged whistleblower article? We will talk about that after this very short break. Guys in my audience, I know you're tired of the chafing with traditional underwear. Our sponsor, Sheath, makes the most comfortable boxer briefs I've ever worn. If you're sick of the boxers that are too loose or the briefs that are too tight, Sheath is for you. Sheath underwear is designed with 2 special pouches in the front. Keeps everything separate in its own compartment with extra confidence that you will feel throughout the day, keeping things separate and comfortable, no more sticking and chafing. I was skeptical about the dual pouch, I admit it, but it is game changing. Everything stays where it is supposed to be, extra useful when working out at the gym, and even if you don't want to use the pouches, you don't have to. It is still the most comfortable pair of underwear I have ever owned. It will blow your mind how soft and stretchy these are, made with moisture wicking technology to keep you dry. If you were ready to take underwear comfort to a new place, a place you didn't even know it could go, head over to sheathunderwear.com/Pacman and get 20% off with the code Pacman. The link is in the description.